My contribution to the debate on Africa is a poem about Benin. And Benin is another country we managed to overrun. And it's famous not only for its slaves, but for its bronzes, which turn up time to time. So a history of Benin. Deep in Benin, historians now know that before the slaves were dragged to the ships, there would be a sermon on Olokun, the water god, how he would let them walk the path over the ocean to the better world, the blessed realm of spiritual life hereafter, far overseas, as a favour. Their departure may have facilitated the burst of bronze statuing we know and love so well. Accusations of gross cannibalism, followed by human sacrifice and disrespect to English, may have led to the storming of the citadel, the speeding of the trade and shipping abroad of the last bronzes, to the strange land of everything. What picture stern faces of the dead spreading their mucal malady gloom, sip and sip, by twig and tummy, orbital, tree and new fact forest. Having travelled round the globe themselves, the makers finally meet up with the work and learn something. Quote, the fighting attitude. This fighting attitude of not being dismayed at any time, this inflexibility when confronting the great problems, is also the nobility of the guerrilla fighter. Unquote. Che Guevara. Right, a bit of fun, also in Africa. It's titled Abroad. Who yelleth, who knows what? At dusk the hippos will come and sniff and nudge the vetch grass circle wall around us. Lord Greystoke rushed forward to drag the ape from his wife's prostrate form. Oh, John, I had an awful dream. I thought we weren't in London. Sweet, before it is dark, we retire, we make the tent, we lace it. If the lamp keep light, there are movies of wings, they brattle and rub. Giant heads wob and nod. Do they have horned hats, skin or flake, scale, fur, copper moths, sulphur, pepper, burn blue, the wire-lit naphthalene to make a clear lure, wrecks, fizzles, and some pirouette outwards before we snap like flat hammers, a dust of glory inhaled. No call to love if the lamp is put off, there is only darkness. Stay away from that. Stay away. Commandy, the last boy on earth. Have you come across him? It was a cartoon by Jack Kirby, I think. He's the only boy left in the world because there's been an atomic something or other, and everything else is mutated, and his friends have got sort of lions' heads and dogs' heads and sort of combined bodies, and there's a strange world which appealed to me. And it's called Commandy. After the war, it was at least as bad as Commandy made out. The tiger was driving about in a big armoured car. The dogs acted air marshals. The word, they said, represented the thing. Only the privileged bipeds kept their canine personality. Roll was wing, only denotative. The frogworms, the ant construction leaders, and the wasp scaffolders from the rim beyond the radio curtain read the news. The structure was the form. The globes and mirrors perished. Ornaments were jeered to death. Nothing would be covered, hidden, occluded, sublimated. The tiger made it clear. Inside each of us is a machine. The machine is perfect. We will no longer pretend the self-control, scarce, so wasteful, aristocratic demands. Shoot you who you will, I am the fur and fury of the machine. That's that, said the antelopes and some of the professionals who were standing around. Clarity after inner form, light from your own heart. Okay. Then the dogs attacked. Then the exasperated amino sugars ceased to build primrose, crystal, dry ways through the atom wetland. Then the wasp burners made do with cones. Then Commandy ran and ran and talked and ran and ran. His mate Ben opened the tiger carcass. He was seeking batteries. There was a lot of mortality and little else. It must have been radio fuel, says Ben. And Commandy notices a lovely part heron landlady paddling in the mint. Is it right to stir? He asks. Answer that question themselves. How's my time? I really want to end with the next one, if that's all right now. More or less, but take too long. I started with a story about the pickets. So I live down in the northeast near Sunderland, the coal pickets, which a friend told me. And this one comes from an old chap who used to work on tugs that took boats in and out of the harbour and sea. And he gave up working for it basically because you had to work 2 hours either side of high tide. And since the tide depends on the moon, we didn't even have a shift system, we just had to get out of bed according to when the moon was doing the tides. I agree, it's a bit much. But it's not about that, this is about the engines. I just felt sorry for them now. According to where on its cycle the crankshaft starting point lay, it seems, says Joe, the paddle wheels could equally either go forward or go backward, and that is why no standard seaman could ever work the tugs. Thank you.